As we all know, DMITRY BIVOL and Artur Beterbiev have been keeping the 175-pound division hostage because they have only been fighting each other, and they have not given the opportunity to fight any other fighter like David Benavidez or David Morrell. And we all know David Benavidez wants to fight the winner between Artur Beterbiev and DMITRY BIVOL, but this time DMITRY BIVOL won on their second fight, so David Benavidez wanted a crack at BIVOL. But it's not really DMITRY BIVOL and Artur Beterbiev's fault. They believe they had already signed a contract for a 3-fight deal, so I'm pretty sure they just want to get this legacy fight out of the way. Now, there's been trilogies and even 4 or 5 fight legacy fights. Just look at Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez. They fought, I believe, 5 times. And every single time they fought was a great fight and made a lot of money, and the fans were not bored. Do you guys know why? Because there was fights in between. They were not all back to back. And my favorite fight of all time, Muhammad Ali versus Smoking Joe Frazier, won. That fight was really good, and also number 3 was really good, but they were not back to back either. So yes, this is the first time in boxing history that there's gonna be a legacy 3-fight deal back to back. And don't get me wrong, these fights are not boring at all, but they're just back to back, and it does seem like the same fight twice. And no fighter really overtakes the other fighter. These guys are evenly matched. They are at the highest level. In this rematch, we're gonna see who is really the best fighter, as they're gonna be 2 out of 3. And I'm just praying and hoping that it's not a draw, because I do not want to see a 4th fight anytime soon. Let it be like 5 years, then we could watch another rematch. So I hope the winner between DMITRY BIVOL and Artur Beterbiev, the winner fights David Benavidez and the loser fights David Morrell. That'd be a dope card. So yes, DMITRY BIVOL and Artur Beterbiev are gonna fight a 3rd time. So this leaves David Benavidez without a fighting partner. Everybody knows how David Benavidez moves. This guy is a G. What does he do? He gets the next best opponent in Callum Smith. So now David Benavidez and Callum Smith are going to be in negotiations for a fight. Now David Benavidez is the most dug fighter in boxing. And I do not believe though, even though he is the most dug fighter in boxing, I do not believe that DMITRY BIVOL and Artur Beterbiev will dug David Benavidez. Because DMITRY BIVOL dropped the belt, so he will avoid a fight with David Benavidez. But DMITRY BIVOL already had a fight lined up with Artur Beterbiev so they could finish the trilogy, so that does not make sense. What doesn't make sense is how you're gonna fight Artur Beterbiev, one of the most dangerous fighters in the world with the heaviest punches, to avoid David Benavidez. That is not a dug. They're both very dangerous fighters in their own way, in the same level, A+ fighters. And we all heard the sparring story between David Benavidez and DMITRY BIVOL. I heard David Benavidez drop DMITRY BIVOL a couple of times in sparring, but yes, sparring and sparring, and that does not really mean anything. What really counts is under them lights in the professional fight. In sparring, you're supposed to get hit. You have to work on some stuff sometimes, and that's what it is. You're working on sparring. You're training to fight in the real fight. So yeah, I take that dropping the belt to avoid David Benavidez to fight Artur Beterbiev, take that with a grain of salt, as I know all these fighters are gonna fight each other. They're not ducking anyone, especially when Mr. Turki Al-Sheikh is already paying them a huge bag for something they're already doing, fighting the best on their professional boxing careers. So yes, I am cool with the trilogy as for right now, but I hope Turki Al-Sheikh doesn't make any more trilogies back to back again, because I want to miss the fight, and I'm pretty sure if they fight 5 years from now, the fight will probably be different because they will be totally different fighters. But as of right now, they're still in the same year that they've been fighting back to back, and I'm pretty sure all the fighters evolve over time, so they have not evolved that much. They're pretty much still the same fighter since they fought back to back and only each other and no fights in between, so they're only learning from each other at this moment. So the only thing they could change is their training partners, their sparring partners, their camps and stuff like that, because they're gonna fight each other again and it's gonna be a similar person. But who knows, boxing is the toughest sport in the world. You get hit and you have to hit your opponent back. Also, UFC is another contact sport. So yes, both of these two sports are the only sports in the world that you have to hurt your opponent on purpose. Like football is not really on purpose. Maybe hockey, because these guys actually do fight, and I believe they have fighting records. Even when you play a hockey game, I believe they let you fight their opponent. You have to take your mask off and then you fight each other and then you go to the box or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really a big hockey fan. Now, I love playing all the sports, but I really don't like watching all the sports. I just really like watching boxing. Now, I know UFC is another contact sport, but I never liked the UFC. I don't like the ground and pound. It's kind of weird that two grown men trying to wrestle each other on the ground. The only thing I like about the UFC is the ring girls. But guess what, guys? I ain't the biggest, I'm the baddest. And if you want to hop on your boy, throw $1 at the super things. I got a roll. Peace.
I shook up the world! I shook up the world! I shook up the world!